Planet Dolan.
From panicking over allergies to being judged by someone's whole family, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to you on a date. I'm Melissa, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by Thomas555999777. The most embarrassing thing that happened to Zaragamba on a date was when he took a girl to the movies. Everything was going great until his date began to have an allergic reaction to an ingredient in the popcorn. She started choking and going blue in the face and wheezing. Zaragamba was young and had no idea what to do. So instead of staying calm and getting help, he panicked and fainted on the floor next to her. Luckily, they both recovered physically, but he will always carry the mental scars from that day. Number 9 was submitted by pastaterrylord. Nixium had just started studying at college when he met a girl and asked her on a date. She asked if they could go to the most expensive restaurant in town. He hesitated, but said,
"Sure, why not?"
When he got to the restaurant, the girl had already arrived and ordered the most expensive food and drinks. Halfway through the night, she randomly started accusing Nixium of being emotionally abusive and wasting her time. All of the other diners overheard and looked at him in disgust. She stormed out, and Nixium was forced to pay for the entire meal. He didn't even have a chance to eat anything. Number 8 was submitted by King Kashoku. One summer, Gurga and Melon were having a lovely dinner at a restaurant when Gurgak's sister and young niece happened to walk by. His niece jumped to give Gurgak a hug, but accidentally kicked him straight in the nuts. When he turned around to walk it off, he stumbled into a pole that smashed into his dong. He screamed and pulled his pants down to make sure he hadn't done any serious damage to his equipment, forgetting that he was in a restaurant full of people. Surprisingly, he was okay and managed to laugh it off and enjoy the rest of his meal. Number 7 was submitted by ygaz. Spinal and his girlfriend Princess Proton were supposed to be going on a double date with Dolan and Gooby. At the last minute, Dolan wasn't able to go, so the three of them went bowling. When Spinal went to the counter to book a lane for 3 people, the man behind the counter decided to announce over the loudspeaker that Spinal was on a date with 2 girls. Everyone in the bowling alley cheered and clapped, but the 3 of them facepalmed and had a very awkward bowling session. Number 6 was submitted by Broads22. Lady Bada and her girlfriend Sharpie once went on a date to a movie theater to see the movie Taken 3. During the movie, Lady Bada excused herself and went to the bathroom. When she came back from the bathroom, a guy had taken her seat. She yelled, "What the hell are you doing with my girl?" She looked closer, only to realize she had screamed at an elderly man, and she was in the wrong cinema. She bumped into the old man after the movie, who found it very funny and told Sharpie everything. Number 5 was submitted by the Milkman1034. Hellbent once went on a date that went really well. Shortly after the date, he had to have an operation that left him in the hospital for a few months. When he finally got out of the hospital, he asked the girl out again, and she said yes. They went to a Chili's, and things were going well. Hellbent's stomach started making noises, but he kept trying to ignore it. Just after their meals arrived, Hellbent couldn't hold back anymore and vomited blood all over the table and passed out. He woke up in the hospital and texted his date to say sorry. He never got a reply. Number 4 was submitted by SarahBera13. Snoopy was dating someone once who decided it was a good idea to break up with her in the middle of a meal at a fancy restaurant. The person told Snoopy that they didn't want to see her anymore, and she started crying. The waiters were still bringing them food to their table while she tried to hide her tears. Suddenly, all the other diners started clapping and yelling, "Congratulations!" They thought that Snoopy and her date had just got engaged, and that's why she was crying. She left in the middle of the meal, confused and upset. Number 3 was submitted by Lobster Body Slam. Ramona and a girl she was dating at the time went on a date to a restaurant they had heard good things about. After the date, they were driving back to her house, which was about 35 minutes away. Ramona's stomach started rumbling. Apparently, something was not agreeing with her. She decided to let out a quiet fart to relieve herself, but that's when it went horribly wrong. She accidentally pooped her pants. It was the longest drive she had ever had to endure, and by the time they arrived at her apartment, her date had figured out what had happened. Luckily, they had a good laugh about it, but she will never live it down. Number 2 was submitted by Kooky Girl 199. When Doopy was in 8th grade, she agreed to go on a date with a boy for Valentine's Day. When she met him at the cinema, things got awkward when she realized he had brought his whole family with him. His mom asked him, "Why would you go out with a skinny girl like her? She'd get a wider girl who has a better appetite." Doopy insisted that she has a great appetite. She just doesn't get fat easily. Then his brother started accusing her of stealing soda from him at school. Her date and his family gave her the most evil glare. Needless to say, she never saw him again. And now, number 1. This is the part where I tell you guys about something crazy that happened to me. So, here goes. Up until age 19, I didn't know how to ride a bike. Crazy, I know, but it's true. I got asked out by this crazy cute guy when I was 18, and he told me the date would be a surprise. See where this is going? Sure enough, he booked us a romantic, scenic biking tour along the river. For anyone else, this would have seemed like the most perfect first date idea ever. But as someone that could barely balance on a bike, I panicked and made up the stupidest excuse I could think of, followed by the stupidest alternative suggestion I could make. I said, "I hurt my ankle this weekend, so I won't be able to bike. How about we go dancing instead?" Needless to say, there was no second date. Huge thanks for all the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What's the weirdest thing you've been competitive about? Let us know in the Reddit page link below, and you might be featured in a future countdown.
This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys.
Catch you guys next time.